Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again with a quick review of the brand new Orei HDA-934 4-input, 1-output HDMI switcher with full ARC and eARC support. This product makes it incredibly easy for you to share a single 4K ultra-high definition monitor with up to 4 different HDMI media devices at the same time and still have complete control over which of those devices are being displayed on that monitor at any given time by using the selection button on the front of the unit or the included infrared remote control. Now, as part of this review, I always like to start with a quick unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit, and that way you'll understand exactly what you get if you decide this product's right for you. And then I'll take a closer look at the 4x1 switcher and explain the connections and indicators so you understand exactly how to use it. I'll do a quick demonstration to show you just how simple the product will be to use, and then I'll come back one more time and point out a few things that I really like about this 4x1 switcher, because there's a lot of products on the market that look similar, and it's important you understand what's different about this one so you can easily compare it to others you may be considering. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first pop open the box, you'll find the 4x1 switcher. You'll also find a single 5-volt DC 1-amp power supply. You can simply plug this into any standard wall outlet. The other end of the cable has a barrel connection on it which plugs directly into the back of the unit and provides all the power you'll need for operation. Also included is an infrared remote control, and this is a really nice feature because a lot of the switchers on the market only have a button on the front that you can use to make your selection, and if you locate this in your media center and it's quite a ways away from your chair or your couch, you're going to have to get up every time you want to select a new input. So having a remote control means you can sit back in the comfort of your couch or a chair and make those selections from a distance. Also included is a warranty card and a full instruction manual that explains everything you could possibly want to know about the 4x1 switcher, including connection diagrams, specifications, and other really important details that'll help you get the best value out of the product. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look, do the demonstration, and point out some of the whiz-bang features this product provides. The product features a full metal enclosure which makes it incredibly durable and really the perfect solution for any residential or commercial installation. On either side of the cabinet, you'll find ventilation slots, and those are designed to let any heat that develops during operation escape to keep the electronics inside at a very comfortable temperature. On the front of the unit, starting on the left, you'll find 5 LEDs labeled Auto, In1, In2, In3, and In4, as well as a button you can use to select between the various inputs. You can tap that to walk through the inputs. You can also put this unit in automatic mode, and the product will actually select the last used input and send that to the output. To the right of that are 4 more LEDs labeled Auto, 2.0, 5.1, and 7.1. These indicate which audio standard is currently being used. Again, you can put it in automatic mode and let the unit decide what the best quality audio possible is from the media device that's currently being used. To the right of that is an EDID switch. You can use that to adjust the EDID settings. That's fully explained in the manual. To the right of that is an eARC indicator, as well as a button you can use to turn eARC on and off. If you're using a piece of media gear that has eARC compliance, turn that on to enable the best possible audio. To the right of that is an infrared receiver window. Behind there is a receiver that's used with the infrared remote control. When you locate this on your desk or in your media center, make sure that's visible if you're using the infrared remote. On the rear of the units, where you'll make all your connections, starting on the left, you'll find 4 HDMI ports labeled Input 1, 2, 3, and 4. These connect to whatever media devices you'd like to share with your output monitor. Number 1 is labeled eARC as well. It's important you connect up whatever device has eARC capabilities to input number 1 so it can be passed along to the output. To the right of those 4 is another HDMI port labeled Output. This connects to your high-resolution monitor, and again, the eARC signal is passed along to that output device. To the right of that is a micro USB connection labeled Service, and that's used to update firmware on the unit later on if new features are introduced. And to update that firmware, you'll connect this to a computer, download the firmware file to the product to complete that upgrade. Finally, to the right of that is a DC input port, and that's where the power supply plugs in. You'll simply plug the other end into a wall outlet. The barrel connector plugs in right there and provides all the power you'll need for operation. Now I'll show you the connections you'll need to make to use this product with your own equipment. And for this demonstration, over here I've set up 4 small media players. 3 of them are displaying different images just to make it easy to tell them apart, and the 4th one is looping a video. This is the media content that I'd like to share through the 4-in-1 switch with my monitor. Now the media player that's looping the video is also eARC compliant. Over here I've set up a monitor and a soundbar that are both eARC compliant as well, so we should be able to hear high quality audio from that media player on this soundbar once I finish the connections. In front of me, I have the HDA-934. Now the first set of connections I'll make are from the media players to the product, and I've already connected high-speed HDMI cables to each of the players. The other end of those cables, I'll plug into HDMI input port number 1, number 2, number 3, and finally number 4. And now we're all set to connect up the monitor, and I've got another HDMI high-speed cable right here connected to the monitor, and I'll plug that into the HDMI output port on the back of the 4x1 switcher. And now we're all set to add power. I've already plugged in the power supply. The other end of the cable from that power supply has a barrel connection on it, which plugs directly into the back of the unit. Now, the minute I add power to the switcher, it's going to start an internal power on self-test where it's checking the electronics just to make sure everything's working okay. It's also checking the resolution of the input devices and the resolution of the monitor, as well as looking for an eARC signal. So that'll take a second, and it'll come up on input number 1 first. Let's do that because that's the media. There we go. Now it takes a second to make the adjustment. When it comes back, you'll see the display and you'll hear the audio. And that's my eARC signal right there. So you can hear the audio coming through, again, an eARC player, eARC monitor, and eARC soundbar. Now if I'd like to switch to another input, I'll just tap the input button there. I'll move on to input number 2, which in this case is going to be an image of a security camera. Again, any HDMI output is fine. Here's input number 3. Computer, and then finally input number 4. This should be a game console, I believe. There we go. So there's your 4 inputs, and you can see that I've got the eARC indicator on the front, so it sees the eARC signal, and it's also outputting 7.1 audio at this point. So let me switch back to input number 1, which is the media player looping that video, and there you go. And it really is just that easy to get it working. And the nice thing is, if it's set up on your desk, you can tap the button with your finger, but if it's in your media room, it may be quite a ways away from you, and you can use the infrared remote to make your selection. And that's really all there is to it. I hope that closer look and demonstration were helpful. Now here are a few really important things to keep in mind when you're comparing the Orei HDA-934 with other 4x1 HDMI switchers you may be considering. The first thing has to do with the fact that this product fully supports both ARC and eARC audio. And that's really important because most modern media devices and even soundbars use ARC and eARC to pass along the highest quality audio standard to your soundbar. So if you're using a switcher that doesn't adhere to those two standards, you won't get the best quality audio. You won't pass along 7.1 uncompressed, you won't pass along Dolby Atmos. So knowing you've got a unit that supports ARC and eARC means you'll always get the best quality audio out of your brand new soundbar. Another big difference is the certifications. This product is both HDMI 2.0B as well as HDCP 2.3 compliant. And the reason that's important is because the HDMI standard has gone through a lot of changes in recent years, and you'll want to take advantage of some of the advanced features that are built in to HDMI 2.0B. This unit supports that and will pass those features along to your monitor. The HDCP certification is important as well because that controls copy protection, so knowing you're on the latest version of HDCP means you can play a wide range of different media styles without having any issues passing through the switcher. Another big difference is the fact that this unit provides 4 inputs and a single output. And that's really important because even though you may only use 2 or 3 inputs today, you know you're going to expand your media components down the road, and having extra ports means that you can plug those right in and use the switch. Another nice feature is the fact that they include the infrared remote control. A lot of the switchers on the market, like I'd mentioned earlier, only have a button on the front to make your selection, and that's okay if it's located on your desk within reach, but if you set it up in your living room, and you want to switch between your inputs between a game console and a media player or your cable box, you have to get up from the couch and walk across the room to make that selection. So the infrared remote is really important. And the final thing I'll say is I love the fact that it supports 4K ultra high definition media content, which is really the standard that most of us are using today. So knowing it supports all of my media gear and my higher resolution monitors means I can use it with a wider range of different equipment. So everything you need to get started is included with the package, and it's incredibly simple to use. So hopefully you found this review helpful. I like it an awful lot. I think you're going to like it as well. So thanks for watching, and until next time, as always, stay nerdy.